Thank you, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members. I've been asked to tell the committee the steps that we are taking to apprehend the NPR chiefs, AP officers who attacked herders in Gababa, location Ijara constituency. And also what we are doing to make sure this is not that does not recur, and the support being provided to victims of the injuries, and the measures we have put in place to address the issue of grazing rights and resource allocation around in that area generally. Honorable Chair, 13th August 2024, Mr. Said Komora, the chief of Zubake location, held a baraza at Mahono sublocation where there were farmers, there were Pokomo, involving Pokomo farmers from Tana River County and Somali herders from Garissa County. The agenda was about the conflict between farmers and herders, which is common in pastoral areas and other marginal areas of our country. But the meeting became violent, and as a result of that violence, two herders removed their spear with an intention to attack the chief. That prompted the NPRs, the two NPRs, who were armed with rifles, to fire 5 rounds of ammunition. In the process, Mr. Reso Mohammed was shot and he sustained gunshot wounds on both legs. He was rushed to Ijara Sub-County Hospital where he was admitted in serious condition. The action taken, Honorable Chair, is that the police reservists who were involved in the shootings were disarmed, as is the procedure in these cases. And the DCI Tana River Sub-County has commenced investigations. The case has also been taken over by IPOA, because as I said, misuse of firearms by a police officer is not part of government policy, and therefore IPOA, which is the independent agency that deals with those cases, is already investigating the matter. The two and then the other issue is what we are doing to make sure that this is not repeated. Number one, peace building and reconciliation initiatives. We have instructed our Wanga officers at higher levels to make sure that they revitalize the peace committees and elders to make sure that the communities there, the farmers and the herders, continue coexisting peacefully. Number two, we are doing, of course, joint security patrols by officers from the two counties, Tana River and Garissa. We have reviewed our intelligence gathering to make sure that before such barazas are held, we are able to ascertain the kind of issues that are likely to be emotive and prevent the escalation of emotions that will lead to violent attacks in cases like this. And then we are also in that area revamping our community policing arrangements and facilitating, through again the peace building committees, the negotiation between the two groups, the farmers and the herders, some form of agreements which are very common in those areas. And we hope once the communities agree, we should not have an incident like this occurring again. In terms of compensation for the injury, unfortunately, we do not have any budget to compensate victims of crime. But maybe in the future, if we have budget, we could be assessing some of these cases and identifying possible cases for compensation. So the peace committees, Honorable Chair, have been facilitating mediation, and we hope after that mediation, we will have a peace agreement between those communities and reconciliation. And This is the same for other areas where we are having similar confrontations between farmers, herders, mainly around resources. So the grazing committees have been regularizing, have regularizing some of the arrangements, and also we want to believe that this alternative dispute resolution mechanism is the key. Even if we will prosecute anybody who has hurt another or harmed another Kenyan, our experience in these areas is that alternative dispute resolution mechanisms, once communities agree, we will enforce them because they are more durable and more sustainable than the use of hard force. I submit.
Mheshimiwa, do you have got maybe a clarification further you need?
Thank you very much. For record purpose, my name is Abdi, Member of Parliament for Ijara constituency. First, I want to thank the committee for the opportunity you have given me on this matter. I also want to thank and congratulate the CS for this new appointment and what he has given so far. But I just want to say that I'm not contented with the information the CS has given. First, I want the CS to understand that this is a matter that has been there for the last 60 years, since independence, because of the 3 Mile factor. And I know it's not within his mandate, but that's an issue that the ministry need to understand. This has been a problem that has been existing between Garissa County and Tana River, specifically the constituencies along the river. With the response that CS has given on the issues of, on the question of the steps that have been taken to apprehend and prosecute the officers involved and the administrator involved, he said very clearly that there were baraza that was called. You know where I'm talking from is about boundary issue. The baraza, the Zubaki location, it comes up to after the river. And I have Gababa location, so we share the same. We have chiefs in Gababa. We have assistant chief in another sublocation of Gababa called Abdi. We have DO division there. We have DCC there. So if the CS is giving me only the report on the other side, if there were barazas and there were herders involved, why is Ijara DCC not involved? Or the chiefs that were not, the chief from my side were not involved. I'm told that there's a baraza that will take place in this particular sublocation, which is in Tana River. Let us come together and do a peace-building reconciliation. First, that information is fallacy. It's not there. And whoever gave that, because for a baraza to happen two constituencies or 2 boundaries, there must be a notice. There must be a written notice to the both constituencies. It's not there. I want the CS to share that notices. It's not there. So this was just a one side, and that has been the trend for the last 60 years, where the chief comes from the other side. If there's a problem, comes to this side, he doesn't involve the other chief. They continue doing their own things, come with an NPR, use NPR and police officers to intimidate my people. So when he's telling me the CS, there are only 2 NPRs. There were 8 NPRs and 2 AP officers and 2 chiefs. Because immediately that thing has happened, the OCS from Masalani rushed to the site. And we have the OB number, everything is written. How the OB was written is how I put in my statement in the chamber. So let us not make it that this is a normal process that happened or there's a fight. There was an intention to intimidate my people, and this happens on daily basis. Just after this incident, another 2 incidents happened in that area. So I think we need to do further extensive investigation on this matter. What I want to hear from the CS is the issue of the chiefs. These chiefs have been there for the last how many years? What have you guys taken any disciplinary action? Because you have only told me NPR disarming. I'm not seeing any chiefs have been taken any disciplinary action. I'm not seeing. So this is a culture that has been continuing. And if you don't take action, the two communities, actually I'm done on the other side, I'm done who is spearheading peace. We have lost cows there, we have seen instances, over 50 goats were killed, were slaughtered, and put into the river, on the Tana River. And those goats belong to us. But what have we done? We have solved internally. But this matter now, already people who have lost lives. So I think I'm not contented with the statement on the steps taken. I want to see the chiefs taking action, the NPRs disarmed, and also the APs disarmed. Because if you don't do that, tomorrow they'll also come with NPR, because we are not in control. If these NPRs, they are being controlled from the other side. If there's a joint operation, why are we not involved in the DCC Ijara and the DCC Hall?
I think you've really made clear and passed your point. Yes. So maybe you can let the CS respond. But just to help us, I think actually your question on that, I think is very clear. The steps that are being, the statement that you sought, the steps that have been taken to apprehend and prosecute the NPR, chiefs, APs, officers. And I think the CS, if I heard him well, said is an issue being investigated by POA, which by law.
Excuse me.
Yes.
If you hear what the CS has said, he has only said two things.
Okay, he's here.
Yeah, he has said only.
But for purposes of time,
Chair, please, just give me time. Mine, it has not even taken less than 5 minutes.
Chair regulates.
Yeah, I'm just requesting.
And I know you really passed your point.
Yeah.
Kindly.
No, I'm saying I have asked three questions: the NPR, the chiefs, and the AP. What the CS has given me, he told me NPRs only. Where are the chiefs? Where are the APs? That's my question.
Yes, you can respond.
For the APs, the use of force is between the internal affairs units of the police and the IPOA, and I've said already, the two are working on it. Before arrests are made, there must be an investigation file which is complete and which has evidence that can sustain charges in a court of law. But I want to accept the suggestions by the Honorable Member for Fafi that we need to do a little more. Make sure, I'm going to verify whether this peace building is involving cross-border participation. Because if it is not, then it is not going to yield the fruits we want. And I'm going to demand from our officers there in the two counties to ensure that it is done and file a written report so that we don't get anything wrong. But I really accept, that it has to be done properly because border issues can be very sensitive. They are long-standing issues. There are no quick fixes around it. And more than half of the counties of Kenya have this kind of very emotive and delicate issues that need to be handled well. I take the suggestions by the member of Fafi, and sorry, Ijara and Fafi, they are neighbors. I'm sorry for the confusion. The member for Ijara. Thank you.